Bang. All right, guys, we are live now. We've got Jason on here. We've got Juan, one of our top students here in the $1 Million Detail Academy, an absolute killer. And he's going to share some awesome stuff with you guys, some cool successes he's had. We're just going to pick his brain a little bit and try and get inside there. So to start off, Juan, you just want to introduce yourself a little bit, talk about your business, what you've done, how long you've been detailing, that sort of thing.
My name is Juan. I just got into the $1 Million Academy in January. I'm the co-owner of Protect Auto Detailing. If you want to see it, it's all right there.
There you go.
Maybe a little blur. I got pretty much free range as of last month when my boss decided to gift me the company. I don't own it 100% outright at the moment, but I got free range. So as long as I'm making him money, I don't have to make a payment on the company. I've been detailing for roughly about 20 plus years, and I got 10 years under my belt as a professional. My mentor, Troy, perfected all my skills, and Christian's helped me perfect my sales skills.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Thanks for that. So, Juan's a killer, man. He's got tons of experience. And that's a really cool little situation you've got where you're basically the sales guy, the engine for the company that you're working inside of, which is pretty cool.
It's a lot of weight on my shoulders, but I can't sit around at home. I got to keep moving.
That's right. That's exactly right, man. So I'm going to go through a few of these questions here we've got prepared. So question number one, what was one of the biggest problems you had before you joined the $1 Million Detailer Academy coaching program?
Honestly, I was too shy.
Too shy?
I'm not a people person, but that changed a lot, actually, going through this and trying to make things personal when I'm talking to a customer. But, yeah, it was mainly I was too shy to talk to a customer. I would always let somebody else do it. So
what would you say, caused you to finally transition to where you went from being shy and not sure how to talk to people or whatever to, being comfortable closing or selling somebody?
It was actually my very first coating sale. I was out doing it by myself. I remember the car. It was a 2018 M3, BMW M3. And it's custom painted with a, really nice copper paint. And he wanted to coat his mother's car, which she just got a brand new Beamer too. And so we got to talking, and then I don't know, it was just so easy.
Right.
He made it comfortable, and he asked the right questions, and I gave him the answers he were looking for, and he just wanted to know what it would cost, and we signed up that same day while I was coating his car.
There you go. So, would you say, you said we've made it personal now. You've worked on making it personal for the customer. So would you say transitioning it a little bit from, because in the academy, we talk a lot about not selling details, right? We're selling the solution to some problems they don't want, or delivering some type of solution they really want, but they weren't sure how to get it before, right? So would you say it's made a lot of difference for you learning how to, basically provide what we call all the time the treasure chest of all their hopes and dreams to them?
Yes, it's having the key to their problems. Always having an answer to everything. And plus picking out their eyesores.
Right, yeah. So then it's not really about, let me try and convince you that you need this. It's more of, this is the solution to the problem you've just called me about, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then it's just a matter of doing it better than anybody else in your area.
Yeah, and you have to treat every car like it's your own.
That's right. So let's talk about some of the results you've got and some of the things you've accomplished since you joined the coaching program. So you've done, I think it was in like the first couple of weeks, you closed like 2 maintenance accounts back to back where they paid for the whole year outright. You got $1,000 bonus for that one. Then you ended up, what was the other thing you did?
Oh, well, let him tell a story. Let Juan tell a story. It's his story.
I'm glad he pays attention to me. Now I feel special.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 killer things that he did, like all in succession. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, the maintenance, the guy that paid it all year, he was iffy on it because he thought it was expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So we broke it down to where I thought he could afford it, and he just paid for the whole year. Come to find out, he's the richest man in Sarasota. So that was a great one. The second one where I talked to the owner of 2 Porsche dealerships and a Mazda dealership in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I coated his car absolutely free. Now, when he wants his cars coated, he will pay for me and whoever wants to come to go up there and coat their cars, and everything's paid for. Nothing's out of my pocket, and I still get paid for the job.
That's awesome, man. So
the most successful one I had right now is the Mother's Day special I was running just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So talk about that. So that ended up, what were your sales for the week when you ran that special?
Okay. At the beginning of the week, before I even ventured out to the florist guy we were on his fleet account with, I think it was about $2,000 for that week. And that was just for his cars. So
Right.
I got to talking to him, and we came up with this idea. We should, give out flowers, and all details will get, the moms will get free flowers. The detail was free and everything. So it was a chance for me to start getting them on, maintenance program, coatings, upsells,
Mm-hmm.
and upsells. That was the most success I had. I've closed so many accounts. We made him $10,000 for the week. I made $19,000 for the week. After employee expenses and everything, I break 12 or 13 at the end of the week profit.
That's awesome, man.
So, but how that started is what we did. We sat down. We came up with the idea on we'll give flowers away for free,
Mm-hmm.
and the detail.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked. That was the hook. Now I have to upsell because I can't do free labor.
Right.
So I start picking out, okay, well, the headlights are bad or this is bad. Well, all right, I can do, we're running a special now, and I'll just throw some random special I come up in my head. We'll coat those for, $200, and you're getting all this, and we'll do the headlights for $200 and make it nice and easy. So once we got them on that, we jump on a maintenance program to keep, let's keep your car always looking this great and, retaining its value. And, when you trade this in, now I know that you'll get top dollar for your trade in.
Right.
So they would pay for our maintenance program. And most of them would we'll try to set up on a payment plan. And they were like, okay, well, we'll pay this much a month. Okay, no problem. We'll set that up. But if you go ahead and pay for the full time, whatever, how long you want, I'll take off 2 maintenance details for absolutely free.
Nice.
And that's how we got them rolling in. Then I started seeing the business account just ching, 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 notifications going off.
Now, Juan, I want to, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask some question,
Sure.
a question around the topic of something that you're talking about here, which I don't believe in. There's no such thing as free, in the sense that you've discovered that free isn't really free. You give something for free, and you make so much money over and above what you've given away for free. And we see it. I mean, we often see a lot of, threads in Facebook posts here and there where people say, hey, I gave away such and such a thing free. And then you get these naysayers who are saying, oh, why are you doing that? You shouldn't do that. You'll never make any money doing that. What would you say to those people who are those kind of, the naysayers who are just don't believe in doing any of that stuff?
Honestly, for the naysayers, my honest opinion, how long you been in business for? Are you still in business now? Are you trolling Facebook? Everybody is different. Everybody's going to run things different, but that worked for me. Nothing is ever free. You need to upsell.
Yeah.
So you're not, killing yourself in the end.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the example I give, it's a bit like, you ever walk down the high street and there's a waiter or a waitress standing outside the restaurant with a tray with little bite-sized chunks of whatever the main course meals are that they're doing, right?
Uh-huh.
And it costs them to produce that, clearly, right?
Yeah.
But they know it's a calculated gamble, it's a calculated risk, that they know statistically if they give away 20 cocktail sticks worth of free bites, they know they're going to get 1 or 2 customers come in and order the main course, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
and that's the principle behind it, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
For us, it's, our chemical costs don't cost us anything. It's what we're really charging is the labor that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I can give a, coating away for free because it only cost me $300.
Yeah.
I make, $1,200-$1,300, or if I add a maintenance program on top of that, that's, $8,000-$9,000 for the year. So I'm looking at yearly, and then I can break it down from there.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's also about, getting names and email addresses and telephone numbers in your black book, because even if they don't immediately buy your highest end product, the chances are they're going to highly likely to be talking about you to their friends.
Yes.
Right. And I'm sure you found referrals come from all of the.
I am on my second binder right now, 3-inch binder, and I'm on my second one.
That's awesome, man.
Amazing.
That's your referral book.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's only my referral book.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
cool. I'll hand back over to you, Christian.
No, that was good, man. That was good. And that's not the only time that you've done that, where you've provided some kind of something up front, no strings attached, totally free, and it worked out. You ended up closing that fleet account that same way.
Yes. There was another fleet account as for the AC company. It was for the vice president. He just called us, said, "Hey, I got a bunch of AC trucks. He called them his driving billboards."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're plain Jane, but they sell. He's well known around Sarasota right now. He's like, "I need them, washed outside, polished, and then just make all the chrome super shiny." No problem. How much? I was like, "You're looking about $125 per vehicle, and about your box trucks about $175. He was like, "Done." I was like, "Okay," but I told him that I prefer to do these for free. He wanted to know why, and I was like, "Well, I'm starting this referral thing where I always have customers ask me, do you recommend this person? Who do you want? This person and this person and this person." So I was like, "Okay." So I showed him one of my referral books. I was like, "See, these could be all your customers."
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, "Great." So when we linked that up, he was like, "Well, nothing in this world is free. You should never give yourself away for free."
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I didn't know what he was, meaning by that. I was just, in the classes trying everything, whatever the weeks was, I was trying that, and I'm, keep going with that. At least try it once.
Are you talking about the weekly strategies in the academy? You're talking.
I try at least, on one customer per day, or at least one per week, and try to close on that strategy. So I know my strengths and weaknesses, and the downsells just goes fire for me.
Yeah.
Well, talk about downsells. Talk about downsells, because this is like super, awesome. We love downsells. So the
trick with downsales for me is I got to know, I got to have an example in my head at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I'm going to lower the price here, I need to get them on X amount of months, so I'm making profits after the second or third wash. So how it works for me is the first couple of payments, and I bring them down where I'm not losing no money even off the first one, but it's toward the end of the end where I make more money. It's just fitting their budget. The first question I always ask is, after we discuss what they need or want, what's your budget? I know everyone has a budget. I don't care if you're the richest person in the world. What is your budget? How much are you looking forward to spend? And they'll tell me, okay, $150. All right, $150 is my full detail service.
Mm-hmm.
You get everything under the sun. And some customers be like, okay, that's too expensive. I'll bring it down. Well, let's see. If you can't do 150 today, what we can do is I'll bring it down to 125, and we'll have this maintenance program where it's, we can keep your car looking amazing. And if anything should go wrong, it's a flat monthly rate, and you cancel whenever you feel like it after your 6th maintenance wash or maintenance package, however you set it up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how my downsell is if I'm going to take away price, okay, you have to commit to at least 6 months. Then after that, they're hooked.
Yeah. So after those 6 months of seeing you every single month, now you are their detailer forever.
Yes. Yeah. And I've noticed that everyone just wants the honest, an honest detailer.
Right.
And if my schedule can't fit them in, I work late. If I have to show up at 6 o'clock, I'll be there at 6 o'clock. Hey, it's still your month. I understand I had a ton of people ahead of you, but you're still important to me.
Exactly. That reminds me of that piece we have in the ad library we looked at one time where it was like introducing a revolutionary idea in the painting industry. We accommodate your schedule, right?
Yeah. That's where I got that from.
That's awesome, man. So you've also done too with that downsell strategy, taking it where you've got somebody on some type of detail and they're like, oh, Juan, that's too much. Oh, Juan, I don't know about that. And you've also done it where, I think I'm correct about this, you've also done it where it's like, okay, so maybe this is a little too much. What are your pain points? And we'll focus on that, right? You do it like that as well.
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit?
All right. When they ask me, okay, this is too much, and then we'll walk around the vehicle. So this could take about 30 minutes to do. And it's 30 minutes of my own personal time. I'm not charging for to target everything they're looking for. Because after the detail is done, that's what they're going to go back and look. Did this person get that specific thing I asked for done?
Mm-hmm.
So then I start quoting, he wants, he's specifically on the door trim because it's faded. Or he's, the paint's dulling out. So we'll take care of the paint. I just want a really good wax. You can lightly do the interior. Most of the cars I do, the interior is clean, and I try not to charge for them, but hey, I got to make my money too.
Right.
So, and that's how, and normally I just come down 10, 15 bucks.
Right. And so they feel like they're getting an awesome deal and you're paying specific attention to the things that they came in there for.
Yeah. And it's a great way to make sure you're getting what they asked for. Everything else could be blown out of their mind. If you see a scratch on the vehicle, take care of it right then and there, and then point it out. Hey, I noticed you didn't notice that a scratch. If you have a picture in your phone of it before and one after, and you've seen it, it's a tip. It's a great tip thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And how do you think that helps the sale when you do that initially, where you're like, okay, show me exactly what you want fixed?
It's grabbing the customer's direct attention and just solely focused on, okay, I'm only worried about this, this, and this. Okay, I can hit this, this, and this in under 45 minutes. Now I can do the rest of it. And, I can get what he's not expecting. And that's a good way to put us out there. And once we're out there, okay, my detailer took care of me and made it personal.
Exactly. Because how many detailers are going to do that? As soon as a customer goes, oh, Juan, that's too much. Oh, well, you're not my customer. Oh, you're just too cheap. Oh, well, you just don't get it. Oh, get out of my shop. Right?
Yeah. I don't understand a lot of detailers like that. Like, I understand you got to know when to say no, because then they're just trying to lowball you. But if you make it personal to where, it fits their needs,
right,
then they can go to the next detailer and they'll probably say, oh, I'll do it for less. And, they're not going to focus on what we just discussed about.
Exactly.
And me investing my time into them makes it feel like, okay, he really does care. He's asking me, what do I really need for my vehicle, not what I want.
Yeah.
Because they'll go to that next detailer to go get the cheaper price, and he'll go $25 and never even look at the car. And they'll go, well, don't you want to ask me what I wanted done, or no, we'll just do it all. And then if they're smart, they'll come right back to your shop and go, okay, Juan, I get it.
Oh, well, speaking of that, I actually had a return customer who, was nice enough to call me and tell me, hey, I did find somebody cheaper. I was like, no problem. Just give me a call, anytime. And I know a while ago we were talking about doing something extra for the customers.
Mm-hmm.
So we already had a golf, a tee time. So we were going to go play. I'd never played golf in my life. So it was going to be a fun adventure. And then when he called, he told me, hey, I found a new detailer, but are we still on for our tea time and everything? I was like, yeah, it's, nothing personal or anything. If you find somebody cheaper, that's fine. Give anybody, any detailer, give them a chance. Let them show you your work. So he calls me 2 days later, asks for a full detail. This guy high-speed his whole black car, brand new black car. And all you saw was swirls everywhere.
Oh, boy.
I spent 2 days fixing it.
Dang, man.
And
he was like, I will never leave you ever again.
That's right.
It reminds you of Zig Ziglar's, one of the things Zig Ziglar said, he said many, many good things. And for those of you who are not familiar with Zig Ziglar, make sure you get a copy of his book, Secrets of Closing a Sale. And I recommend actually getting from Audible a 15 hours and 9 minutes live studio audience presentation of that book. And he says he'd say to his customers, good. I can't remember which way around he says it, but basically it says, good things are seldom cheap, and cheap things are seldom good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. And I also understood a lot of customers in Sarasota are looking for, that professional,
mm-hmm.
that person who knows what they're doing. I think we averaged at least 5 new detailers every summer. Somebody starting to start up and trying to go out and do extra work.
Mm-hmm. And
within a year, they're gone. So it's like I do have the competition, then I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
So
your competition is helping you out, right?
Yeah, honestly, it really is. And I try to, get more detailers involved if I'm overloaded.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get some other ones, hey, I have way too much work for the week and I can't afford to, spend $10,000 on another unit and more supplies. I just rather, if you can come out with your truck and trailer, we'll work a price out or something.
Right.
And I just did that recently for the first 2 days of my Mother's Day week. And we got him, I want to say $2,000 for the week. And then he got me a few coatings involved in that. So it's nice that we're helping each other out. Hopefully I can make him $1 Million Academy student.
There you go. So not only are you getting all the business you can handle, you're getting all the business that other businesses can come in and handle.
Yeah. He's a longtime friend. He's my brother's old baseball coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I didn't know my boss and him hated each other. And I called him out of the blue and said, hey, I need your help. My old boss shows up, say, I don't like him. But we were knocking cars out left and right and didn't charge him much for that. And I also got my uncle involved now. So he's handling a lot of my maintenance accounts at the moment.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. So that's what, like 20 minutes worth of killer successes you've had?
Yeah.
Give or take.
If anybody just wants to sit down and talk to me, feel free to message me on Facebook and I'll help anybody out as much as I'm learning or my trials and errors. And if you have something you're afraid to try, I'll try it out and I'll tell you what happens.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Amazing. I've got a quick question. There's got tons of questions to ask you, but can you tell us or tell the people who are watching this, what was like your biggest aha moment out of like, from being part of the academy, like a particular lesson, a particular coaching call, a particular Voxer, or like, so that you heard, what was the biggest aha when something just went, oh, I can't believe I haven't been doing this, or I can't believe that's so simple, and it made it, the biggest difference to you?
The biggest thing, I really haven't had my aha moment yet. I've had a lot of head slappers. It was
That'll
honestly, knowing how to personally make it so the customer understands what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So if you bring it down to where they understand, they're not going to know the technical terms of the coatings and, the poly and, carnauba wax and all that stuff. Just if you can dumb it down to where, now I wouldn't say literally dumb it down, but, make it to where they can understand, the protection, how long it's going to last, stuff like that. It's an easy sell.
And why that even matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting inside the conversation in their head and just going ahead and selling them what they're already asking for.
Yeah. And I think those are my head slappers. There's times I'm overselling something and they already say, okay, I'm just, getting too far into it, or, all right, well, I only said this much. And now I learned to say a little and let them do the rest. Let them drool over the success we have.
Right. Yeah. Take all the techno babble out of it.
Yeah. And that's the first thing anybody should do is take the technical side out of it, make it to where the customer understands, and that's it. Yeah, now, if they bring up the big words, then you can bring it up. But other than that, no. Just let them know exactly what it's going to do, how long it's going to last, and always catch them up on a maintenance program so they don't have to worry about anything. Sit back, relax, enjoy a beer on me.
That's right. Let's see. We got another question on here. Let's say, so what would you say that you like most, like the number one thing that you enjoy the most about the $1 Million Detailer Academy coaching program?
Honestly, what I love most is not the class or anything. It's how personal you and Jason make it. You guys take the time out to, perfect what we're messing up on or not understanding. Because I learned to where I got to see it done, or somebody's got to take the time out to explain it to me. And that's what you guys do. Do you have an example you could give? The referral postcards we were talking about a while ago. That was one. I didn't know how to word it. We were just going into way too much detail. I wanted to go too much detail into it. And you showed me a few examples in the reference page. And I was able to take a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit, everywhere, and make one postcard. And then on the back, it says, call me now for an exclusive offer. And each offer is not the same. It's, and it goes down to, okay, what are you looking for? I got you. Don't worry about it. And I'm throwing in like free headlights or something free that takes me 5 minutes.
That's cool because in two ways. One, for you to test the market and find out what offers really work and get a lot of data off of them. And two, it's kind of like put your hand into the treasure chest and see what you pull out.
Yeah. Next week we're doing our fishbowl. So
awesome.
I just bought the fishbowl and we have a whole bunch of stuff going in it now.
Amazing. Can you explain to everybody what a fishbowl is, what that is, and then
I'll explain how I understood the fishbowl idea. Because when we were doing our weekly video call on it, Christian just took it out of the park, and I was trying to catch up with him. So the fishbowl to me is like little small ideas that will grab, to make your sale a lot better, or the service a lot better. So what I did was I have a 25% off, or hey, here's a $25 gift card. There's random stuff in there, and then the customer's always winning, and that's what I like about it. That fishbowl has to make sure that customer is winning something. Yeah, a free detail, free coating, free service, free labor, free trip to dinner of your choosing. Receive $50 cash for just smiling. Smile at your detailer, receive $50.
I love it.
I make sure I have at least $50 every day with me, just in case the customer pulls that. It goes in effect tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Okay, so now explain for all the people that are like, is Juan retarded? Why would he ever give away $50 and a steak dinner? Can you please explain why you're not losing any money on that?
Because the customer already paid for their service, right?
Right.
So if they paid cash, that's money already in your pocket. So after you're done with the service, give them the fishbowl.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. Now let them pick. God forbid they got the $50. They already paid you for the service. Give it to them. And if they stay with you, the lifetime money you make with them pays
incomparable
handsomely. So what is $50?
Yeah.
You have to spend money, give away money to make more money.
You are buying customers. That's exactly what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like Carl Bryan says, you know, when you go to the grocery store and you grab a loaf of bread and you go to the register and pay for it, you know you've got a loaf of bread, right? And that's the same thing you're doing is, you know, you're buying a customer. Once you've paid for it, you've got it.
Exactly.
That's
so,
exactly that's awesome.
I'm doing 3 different fish bowls. So I have one if you did the full service, a full detail service. I have one if you got one of my coatings, and then I have one for my maintenance program people.
There you go.
I think top one is we're putting money away for a cruise.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the year, we're going to do kind of a Christmas giveaway fishbowl, and somebody's going to win a free cruise.
That's epic.
And I want to say it's through the Bahamas and wherever else they go.
It's like, you know, I don't know, when I was a kid and I went to the dentist, you know, and you had your teeth drilled or teeth done or whatever, and the dentist, you know, would give you bring out a bowl with some sweets or something, which is kind of weird because like the dentist looking after your teeth. But anyway,
exactly.
you kind of like it. You then learn to love your dentist, so you come back. But,
well, I've learned that it's a great way to get you come back as an adult, but now you just get a free toothbrush.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that. Like, so you go and get your car detailed, and you're ready. You pay for it, and at the end, the guy's like, "Here, pull out of here," and you pull out $50. Like, all right, there's a bill, you know, or you pull out your next detail free, or you pull. I mean, that's insane, dude, because they're totally not expecting that, so they're gonna go next time their car's dirty. They're gonna be like, "Dude, I got to go get this thing detailed because I want to get dinner at Logan's Steakhouse tonight." Or,
yeah. And the thing is, I don't tell the customers what's in there. And I always let them know you're always going to be a winner, but you don't know what you're going to win. And I was like, the chances, you know, it's a $50 cash giveaway. But other than that, there's, you know, free dinner for 2 or, you know, whatever you can think of. I've actually thrown it in there.
Yeah.
The most expensive thing is the 7-year coating for free.
Yeah, and the only cost on that is just your hard cost for the materials and the labor.
Yeah, that's it. And I have it down to where it only takes me 4 hours, depending. Like if the paint is not terrible, you know, it should take no longer than 4 hours to do the whole thing.
Yeah, there you go, man. That's just the prime example of taking like one strategy, making it your own, and just. I mean, I can promise you there's 0 detailers within 100 miles of you that are doing that.
No, I have actually, you know, since we started this, I actually had to turn my phone off for that, 5 more text messages after that.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Generating all the leads your business can handle, right?
Yes. And pretty soon I'm going to hand my phone to my wife to let her deal with all that.
That's awesome.
I love detailing, and I'd rather be on the road than, you know, doing sales, but I'm trying to perfect it to where, you know, the next guy didn't have to know anything about sales.
Right.
But I have it written down to exactly, if he follows this, you'll close everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't, write him down as a referral. I'll give him a call later, and I'll shoot him a deal they can't refuse.
That's awesome, man. And it kind of goes back to, you know, we did the live video one time about growth hacker marketing and like making marketing not something you do, but something you build into the product itself. And so the product sells itself. So when you're doing stuff like the fishbowl and giving away free coatings and having these awesome payment plans or whatever it is, it's like creating a detailing business that just is selling itself, where you just sit back and phone the calls in and put them down on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like you're saying, when you bring the next guy in, it's just like, okay, let me show you this cash machine that I've built, and I'm going to show you how not to kill it. All right. It works awesome and it runs itself. I'm just going to show you how not to squash it.
And if you kill it, you're fired.
That's right. But ideally, we're building something that's impervious.
Here's the handle. All you need to do is turn it around, right?
That's
you don't
all
need to think about it.
You don't even have to do that. Just make sure somebody's turning it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to make sure the customer's doing the work.
Exactly.
Not you.
Right. That's right. And then we'll get that kinetic energy, man, and the momentum will just end up turning it on its own. And that's the thing that Jason's always talking about with the money being in your list. It's like, just like you said, there's the machine. You're just turning it. And you could go to any business broker and say, hey, find an entrepreneur that would like to buy this lever that as you turn it, cash just shoots out the end of it. I'd like to sell that. You know, that's essentially what you could build.
And, you know, that's you guys making sure that I had to think outside the box for this. And, you know, every detailer can be at the same price or they can be higher than me, but you got to be different.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. You know, and 99% of detailers all look exactly the same. They offer the same exact stuff. And they say stuff like, well, marketing doesn't work for a service-based business, or marketing doesn't work for a local business. But you're living proof that that's the farthest thing from the truth.
Yeah, next week I'm breaking out the wrestling shirts.
Oh, the wrestling shirts. Talk about the wrestling shirts.
Oh, okay. So a while ago, we were just cracking jokes on this, and we were just thinking about random ideas, you know, just goofy things. I stole this shirt from such and such detailer. Jason did that. Mm-hmm. Well, I came up with the idea of wrestling shirts. Yeah. Well, my shirt says Protect 316 says I just whipped your detailer's ass.
Yeah.
Your shirt should be getting done within the next few weeks. It says $1 Million Man Christian.
Oh, that's awesome.
$1 Million Academy's on the back of it, and you have the $1 Million belt at the bottom.
Hey, do I get one of those as well?
Just tell me what wrestler you like, and I'll think of some crazy thing. We'll send it out there.
That's awesome. So, and the idea for the shirts was while you're out and about, let's just have some fun with our uniforms, right? We don't have to just have a polo with a collar. Let's
my honest opinion is your uniform making you money? I understand your numbers on the back and everything, but is your uniform making you money? Mm-hmm. So, my opinion, it don't. It's something you wear, you look professional, and everybody looks like that. Why not be unique? Yeah. You know, my number is on every shirt. Don't get me wrong. My number is on all the shirts, but it's a goofy shirt. It's something that, you know, they're not expecting you to come in. It's, you know, cuss words or, you know, I bleeped out some of them, but you know, I have another shirt that says, "Woo, I'm tired." and it's literally right in front and say, "Woo,
you can put it on after the detail and knock on the door with a different shirt on.
Yeah. So I mean,
are you shot with? I'm ready to go, and then at the end, I'm exhausted. Give me my money.
Oh my God!
You know, I'm trying not to make sure I do copyright infringements or anything, but there's a JG Wentworth commercial. I'm trying to steal that one, and you know, make something goofy on that one.
We're gonna hack it. That's what we'll hack it.
Yeah. So. It's something to where I can get the guys to be, you know, having fun. We crack jokes all the time. There's a few customers that crack jokes with us, and that's the thing. You have to make it personal. Get them involved. Say, hey, let me show you how easy this is. And when you start showing them how to buff their car, oh no, they'll call you always.
Just put it in their hands and let it.
Yeah, just let them go. You know, especially I try to get them on the black cars. I try to get every customer on a black car. Hey, come here. Let me show you how to do this. Take this buffer, go up and down, side to side 3 times. They go all crazy willy-nilly. I make sure I can fix it right away if they mess up anything. But it's a foam pad. It's my DA polisher that pretty much doesn't throw much out. Mm-hmm. And they were like, this is too much. That's why you're the professional. That's why we pay you. I was like, okay, just checking.
Exactly. Exactly. So I want to make this super obvious for everybody that's going to be watching this. Juan has, like, I want you to just look at his business of what he just talked about. It's basically this just mashup of all these little bitty ideas that are super creative, super awesome, super cool, cost basically $0 to implement.
Yeah, I haven't spent no money actually out of my pocket for any of this. The guy who makes my shirt is actually a good friend of mine. He's like an uncle to me, so he raised me. So I gave him the ideas for the shirt. He's trying to get his business out there. So I told him, all right, well, you know, I'll make sure that I'm wearing these shirts, and easily we'll generate more money.
Yeah, that goes back to our joint venture strategies or our strategic endorsement partners, man. It's like you don't have to buy this stuff. There's somebody else whose business it would benefit tremendously to have access to Juan's 3 binders full of referrals. You know, this massive black book he's got, the 125 cars a week he's bringing in. Yeah, check him out. You know,
I mean, trust me, I'm tired. I have to make time for my family, but it's getting me set up to where I'm off the road now.
Right.
So yeah, I honestly want to retire before I'm 40.
Right.
And then be $1 million company before I am 40.
And we'll sell it for $5 million. And
I don't plan on selling it, but you know, it's going to be a generational thing. I want my kids to have it and they grow it, and you know, I'll make sure they have their goals. Okay, Dad made it $1 million company. Let's see if we can shoot for 10. Let's shoot, you know, higher and higher. Always shoot for the highest shot possible.
And do you see any reason why you wouldn't be able to do that?
No, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. It's just I have to put the time and effort in.
Wait, what do you mean, Juan? What about all of your competition, Juan?
What? I don't see competition.
What about how marketing doesn't work, Juan? What about if Facebook disappears, Juan?
If Facebook disappears, it disappears.
What about reasons?
My reason is, why aren't you closing?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
There should be no excuses why you couldn't close that account, unless the customer's super cheap.
Yeah.
And we have ways to still make money on those people.
Yeah, and a lot of things I tell customers is, do you like a steak or do you like McDonald's? You can't be picky. If you want a steak, well, you're gonna pay for that great steak.
Right.
But if you want cheap, you know, quick, fast work, then you know the car wash is right down the road. And actually refer people to a car wash, and they shoot me back coating jobs.
Whoa! Wait, Juan, that's the wildest idea.
Yeah.
But car washes don't make any money for anybody.
With fire on that one, but hey, everybody wants to make money, so if you can't afford me, I'll send you to a car wash, and you'll see why why I do what I do.
Right. Yeah. Right. No, that's totally genius. That's what most people would do. You just go to the car wash, you know, or whatever. But the car wash, they're never going to car wash ceramic coating. A car wash will never do that.
No.
Yeah. So
they have a different business model. They have the business model of getting people in and out within 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is amazing.
This one guarantees you 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Guarantee it 5 minutes or less.
And you know what?
I challenged them to it and showed them there's no way to get it done in 5 minutes or less when you have a rush.
Yeah, that's true. On the other hand, if you do find a good car wash, you hear a good car wash place that at least has a decent reputation. Obviously, they're not doing the same job that you are. I mean, it's incomparable. But the customers aren't looking for that at that moment. They're looking for, a quick, get the dust off and the dirt off, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing about those places is they're extremely good at filling a black book quickly, right? Because if they're doing one car on average every 6 minutes, right? They're doing 10 an hour,
right?
Yeah.
Right. So they get it. So if they were clever, and most car washes aren't, because all they do is take the $10 and send the customer on their way, right? And if they had I'm going to give you some vouchers, right? Thanks for coming to the car wash today. I'm going to give you some vouchers, like for some local services, and one of them is detailing and some special detail. This is a door hanger thing I designed with Christian the other night. you're talking about getting multiple address, like you can get up to in a day 50, 60 addresses, phone numbers, email, so that's why a place that does high volume is very useful to you. But you have to be careful who you partner with. It needs to be a car wash that is good by reputation and stuff like that. So
yes, well, I don't send them to the the one that will completely scratch your car up, even though they all do. But these guys are good. I actually learned how to wash and clean cars through them, and I always push my keeper clients to them. If they just they don't care about the car being scratched, they own the car, it's over 10 years old and they just want to keep it nice and clean, yes, I send them to the car wash. And we have a program with that too, so where if they can't find the time to go to the car wash, they'll hey, we have this detailer who's always on call. As long as it's before 8 o'clock, he'll show up. And my business cards are pushed out of there.
And let's talk about, like, let's say this, man. Let's say Juan gets 100 people a week that are just too cheap for him because he drives so much business. It's just bound that he's going to get 100 guys that are too cheap, right? How about we tell the car wash dudes, I'll tell you what, man, every time I get these guys that are too cheap, I'll send them to you. Just give me $10 for each of them.
Yeah.
You send 100 a week. We lock down $1,000 a week for what? Saying, hey, just go over here and this guy can do it better for you.
Yeah. And
because Juan has a list.
I have a list. I have too much work right now that, one man or two man crew can't handle. So now it's just, who can I push them to, or who can I, get on this $1 million journey with me?
Right. So you're not turning away any business technically.
No, unless it's to the point where I can't meet their needs or get down to a price that I'm not losing money on, or make very little profit on.
In which case you're still focused on giving the customer value.
Yeah. It gets to the point
giving them a solution, even if it's not you.
Yeah, it's just not me. But I try to do every sale with the maintenance package with it, so they don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah, that's the ultimate in value.
And at the end, seriously, if you're not giving, telling them about your maintenance program, then you're not gonna stay busy year round. And make sure the maintenance programs are, something that you can do in the winter and something you can do in the summer, or something, your dead time. Your maintenances should be carrying you over.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have continuity in place. If you don't, I can't remember who said this, but if you don't have continuity, you don't have a business. I can't remember who I learned that from, but it's the truth.
Yeah. I learned that, through you guys and everyone else, that if you don't have steadily income coming in and you're just trying to do coding, I mean, great for the guys who can do it. But my slow times in the summer, where my customers don't want coding, it's too hot, they don't want to come outside. I do summer deals and stuff like that. I got to get them on the right budget. I got to, target my customers. My snowbirds, I know I can get almost for anything. Now I have to focus on my locals. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just infinitely drive new business, right? Like, eventually it's either going to run up or it's going to get so expensive to do it that you're going to go out of business. You can't just survive on just one customer, or every customer being a completely new client every single time. It's impossible.
Yeah, and you got to know your numbers too. You got to know your per day cost. What's your vehicle's cost to run it per day? If let's say you buy a new pressure washer, how often are you changing out your pressure washer? How often you got to fix it? In your first year, you should be, writing all that down. Okay, it cost me this much per day to run this, so I have to make double this just to stay afloat. Now you bring in your monthly expenses and your personal monthly expenses as well. And then you break it down per day. You always want to make, four times the amount of your daily expense so you can cover everything else.
Yeah.
And
There you
any
go.
extra money, put away to reinvest in yourself, or invest in something so where you're not working yourself, 20 plus years and still detailing, or because eventually we all want to slow down. Detailing is not going to be as much fun. It's going to hurt.
Exactly.
I was in a car accident years ago. I rolled 5 times. It hurts every day, but it pushes me to see the customers smile. My kids love seeing me clean cars, and they're amazed how clean I can get them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a challenge.
Yeah, if you want to do it in the long run, you've got to get yourself in a position where you're able to pick and choose what you do.
Yes. Yeah.
65 years old, you can only, you can't do super gruesome details that are brutal on your body. You want to be able to go, I want to do the Lamborghini that just came off the lot. I want to spend some time polishing it and putting a ceramic coating on it versus driving out and carrying hoses and buckets and all this stuff, slaving in the sun.
Yeah. I do know a 65-year-old who's detailing, and he works harder than I do. He's up at 4 a.m. and he's not done until about 6 or 7 every day.
Whew. Dang, man.
But he generates 3 times the amount I do. So
that's crazy.
Pretty soon we're going to have a business meeting with him and talk about how we can generate more money for his kids. I'm not worried about, his name's Drew, but I'm not worried about Drew making any more money because he's set.
Yeah.
Now it's time for his kids. All right, let's partner up. Let's do something because they can handle RVs better than I can.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just getting everything ready for them. Granted, the binders are getting ready, to look professional for them. I'm getting copies of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be my next, my next challenge.
That's awesome. That's epic, man. So I got a few questions here for you. So you've had a ton of success. You've done a lot of awesome stuff. You're obviously a killer, man, and super, super inspirational. So for a lot of the people that might be on the fence and they're like, I don't really understand if this stuff can really work for me, or it doesn't make that much sense to me, or I don't know that, being in the $1 Million Detailer Academy in this coaching program will actually deliver results like that. What was your main concern that would have prevented you from joining the coaching program? And what ended up putting those fears to rest for you?
My main fear was, man, this is just something that's trying to get money out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But you changed that. We communicated on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Hey, Juan, how you doing? Just wanted to check in on you. Hey, Christian, I have this weird idea. I want to try out. That's my biggest thing was I thought I couldn't afford it. I couldn't, there's no way it's going to make me money. But what got me was my goal was $1 million. The Academy says $1 million. So I jumped on it. So I had to get over the fear of I had to invest in myself. I'm not going to grow if I don't invest in myself and try something else.
That's beautiful, man. So you
no longer think that we're scammers then?
No. After the first day, these guys are normal. They're everyday guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
when Christian messaged me first, I was like, man, this guy can sell. Man, this is just a sale thing. Like, I'm gonna try it out anyways. I got nothing to lose. It's only $100 to start at the moment.
That's good, man.
The beta thing, so I was like, it's $100. I can just tell Christian 30 days in advance, hey, I don't want to do this no more. I don't see it working. The second class got me hooked, where I had nothing to worry about after that. I just had to get out of my comfort zone and go out and push myself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was awesome for you to get in on the beta program, dude. That was perfect. I'm glad you did that too. Yes, I mean, and that's the thing that me and Jason really try to do, is to make it where it's not, because I've been in a ton of coaching programs myself. Like, I have paid thousands of dollars of my own cash getting inside all these different programs, buying these different courses, and 90% of them are you pay the money and they give you a username and login, and then that's it. You never hear from them again. You never get an email from them again. They don't check in on you again. And so that was one of the things when we were putting it together. It's like, we can't do that. We need to have like a 24/7 bat line where all of the guys can interact with us. We're meeting every week. We're making sure the program's working. If you've got problems coming up, you've got questions, you're confused, whatever it is, we can make it work for you.
Right. And, that's different from everyone else. It's, you guys made it personal. You take the time out of your day, of your busy day, I know, to make sure, hey guys, what's going on? Any trial and errors. Jason, I know you're 6-7 hours away from everybody else, and you're still on here late at night, checking in on everybody, trying to get ideas from them. And then you guys got this crazy idea to do Marketing Mondays. Then it just blows up and it works. So I'm watching it on my phone, driving to next, if I can catch it live, I try. But my God, the things you guys can come up with.
Dude, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's why Jason and I, we've known each other for almost 2 years now, man. And that's just what we do. It's just, that's like our love, man. That's what I enjoy doing. That's what he loves doing.
Yeah.
That and flying planes. That's amazing, man. So let's see. If somebody was to call you and say, why should I do business with Christian, or why should I do business with Jason, or why should I join the $1 Million Detailer Academy coaching program, what would you have to say to that person?
Honestly, why not? Are you looking to make money or to lose money? Would be my next thing. If you can't invest in yourself, then what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself? So, to answer that really is, if you're not afraid to invest in yourself and you're not afraid to get out of your comfort zone, then these guys are there for you. They're there to catch you if you fall. If you make a big mistake, there's ways to get out of it. You just got to find a way.
That's awesome.
Would you say they're in a safe pair of hands with us?
Yes, honestly, because if I ran into any kind of marketing trouble or, had no idea what I'm doing, I can message either one of you guys, through Voxer and be like, hey guys, I'm in trouble. I don't know, I'm having a bad week. Can I have some ideas? Or if I have a weird idea in my head, hey, let's figure out something to where it's making me money on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's super valuable, having the whole squad basically in your back pocket, where you don't get caught like that, and that's another thing, to try to make it super personal, where it's like, we don't want you just sitting I can remember programs that I would be in. I would be like, dude, okay, I know this can work. It has to work. Everyone says it works, but something about it, I can't figure it out. Or maybe I'm just not good at blah, blah, blah. Right. But if I have somebody in the back pocket to pull out and be like, hey man, I'm just not getting this. What am I doing wrong? It makes all the difference in the world. So you're not stuck in a corner feeling like you're stupid, or you just don't get it, or, whatever the case may be. Yeah.
And, that was another one of my issues, starting out on my own. I got to the point where I'm tired of being, everybody's employee. I wanted to be my own boss. But I know that you have to learn to follow before you lead. And then for you to be an amazing leader, a one-of-a-kind person, you've got to have mentors to teach you, the hard lessons. And I was lucky enough to get all that.
Amazing.
I mean, even LeBron James has a coach.
Yeah.
Tom Brady has a coach.
Yeah, the greatest. That's the greatest duo ever. And then I say Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan.
Boom.
Ain't nobody touching them.
Yeah, and they both had coaches.
Yes.
Their entire lives.
The great Phil Jackson.
Yeah, man. I mean, even Olympic athletes, they'll have like 10 coaches, man.
Yeah, and it's just so they're different. They're always on top. You got to stay on top of this. Now, granted, this is, the business side of this is draining, stressful. When money's not flowing in, it becomes more stress. So I highly recommend it. And in the $1 Million, it really taught me how to be different. Get out of my comfort shell, be goofy, make it my own personal thing. And now it's just skyrocketing, and I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's Jason calls it like your secret weapon, man, where you can pull it out and use it anytime you need.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
Exactly. Awesome. So I think we've covered a lot, man. This has been super epic. I've really enjoyed this. Is there anything else either one of you guys want to add? Anything else you want to cover?
Not that I can think of. The only thing I could say, sleeping, you're not making any money.
If you're sleeping,
you're not making any kind of money.
that's right. You're growing or you're dying. You're growing or you're dying.
Unless you're Bill Gates, then yeah, he makes, I think $6,000 a minute every second he's sleeping. So, but other than that, you're not making any kind of money sleeping. Set a schedule out. From this time to this time, I need to focus on my business. From this time to this time is family, and make sure you got your family time in too, because that's a great stress reliever. But other than that, you have to make time for your business on how to grow it.
Yeah.
We often have clients and I work in different sectors as well, not just in detailing. And sometimes I get clients saying, "Hey, Jason, really interested in you helping me and everything else." And I say, "Right, okay, cool. I've got some things you need to do. It'll take you like 3 hours a week." And they go, "Oh, I don't have 3 hours a week to like do marketing." And I'm like, "Well, the marketing is not going to happen on its own."
Yeah.
Right. Do you believe that marketing is going to work?
How often are you guys on your phones looking at Facebook or checking something out?
Exactly.
A lot, right? So even if it's checking messages from families and stuff like that, tone it down a little bit and put it into the marketing side.
Yeah. One of the examples I've always loved is you can sit and think about doing push-ups and you can read about doing push-ups, but until you do a push-up, you'll see zero results.
Exactly.
Yeah, I believe push-ups will benefit me greatly, but I don't have any time to do them.
Yeah, man. Tim Ferriss is like a god in my eyes. He's one of my biggest heroes, and he said in the 4-Hour Work Week that if someone says I don't have time for something, it really only means you don't value it, or it's not a priority for you. You haven't made it a priority in your life. So there's no such thing as not having time for stuff. You just haven't prioritized it.
Yeah. I was watching something on Arnold Schwarzenegger where 18 of his hours, he's awake doing something.
Mm-hmm.
6 hours he rests or 4 hours he rests, and that's all he needs. And the other time he's, training, acting classes, and, that's encouragement. Like, there's not time to do nothing. College is getting more expensive. I don't care who's president.
Yeah.
It's still expensive. It needs to be free. I have, 4 kids getting, eventually I got to start putting money away for their college.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's another motivation. Like, you got to find, your life goals. Somebody told me, take your dream car, put it everywhere you go on a daily basis. Your refrigerator, your bathroom, any mirror you have in the house, and your front door as soon as you walk out. And remind yourself that's why you're doing it, to get to that goal.
Exactly. Yep. You got to know why you're doing it, man.
Yep.
Oh, look at Mr. Jason. You got the cockpit. Is that the Millennial Falcon?
No, it's the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. and that's my goal.
That's epic, man. That's epic. That's awesome. Well, I think we've covered everything. If you guys don't have anything else to add, I think this is a super incredible interview, man. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
No, this is so much fun. Really appreciate you taking the time. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Well, you know what? You can always catch us in the Voxer group. We're always there.
That's right.
Yeah. Christian, if you can set up something like to where the guys can get, access to some of us, we're more than glad, answer any kind of questions. I know Lee is, always, on top of his stuff. And we got Daniel, who asked me the other day, a few weeks ago about, time-wise on polishing and stuff like that. And he knocked his out of the park. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't get it. You've got having that Voxer chat and being in the tribe, you've literally got a pocket full of detailers dedicated to making you successful all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And if there's any questions, you can always feel free to ask any of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
I mean,
it's great having. Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could join the program. Jason and I could fall off of the planet, and as long as you never delete your Voxer app, you got everything you need.
Exactly.
I mean,
you got a lot of us beta guys still there too, so.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's perfect. Well, I appreciate it, man. This has been a killer interview, and I can't wait to make it available to everybody, get it uploaded, and let everybody watch it, man, and hear from you.
Sure.
Awesome.
And if you want to do this again, just let me know, and I'll definitely fit some time for you guys because you guys deserve it.
Perfect. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for your time.
We're going to take you up on that.
All right, no problem. If you guys are ever in Florida, let me know.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah,
Whereabouts are you?
Bradenton, Sarasota area. So it's near Siesta Key, Tampa. As long as it's within an hour or two, I'll come to you guys.
Let's do it.
Amazing.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and